Hello and welcome back to episode 5 of my Houston Rockets rebuild. If you remember back to episode 4, it was the beginning of the Taco Fall era in Houston, and it may be short-lived as it hasn't seemed to pan out as much as I thought it would. We were desperate in need for a big man, and we thought we'd give him a try. But as you can see, our recent run of games, not so hot. In the Western Conference, we're sitting at tied for 11th place at a 9-15, tied with the struggling Denver Nuggets and Dallas Mavericks. Although in our last 10 games, we are 4-6, so that is pretty encouraging to say the very least. But this is a rebuild, of course, so being down towards the bottom of the standings isn't exactly a bad thing. So while we are tied with the Nuggets and Mavericks with 9 wins, we want to get below them, but the Thunder and the T-Wolves at 3-2 are really tanking hard. If we look at the Eastern Conference, the Charlotte Hornets are also hovering at that 9-win spot, the Raptors with just 8, and then of course, as would be expected, the Cavs and the Pistons at 4. So it looks like we are in a race for 5th worst record, because I don't think we're going to be worse than the Cavs or the Pistons, and definitely not the Thunder or the T-Wolves. But if we can be worse than the Raptors and the Hornets, and we'll definitely be worse than the Nuggets and the Mavs, we'll have the 5th best odds in the lottery, and let's roll the dice and see if we can get a franchise player in Houston. So before we start playing some more games, there were some strategy changes I would like to make. First off, I wanted to get Kevin Porter Jr., currently no instructions. For 1 month, I would like to see him drive and shoot more. While I'd like to see him become more of a combo guard, he's just not ready to be a passer, so we want him to just focus on scoring. And this will come at the expense of catch and shoot, because as we look at some of the stats in a second, we don't want him chucking away. On top of that, our young big man, Obi Toppin, is also going to spend a month, but we want him to catch and shoot because some of his 3-point numbers are phenomenal right now. And we want him to drive and pass less, because when he's going to the rim, I want him scoring. He's an athletic big man with some great touch in the paint. So if he's going to be going to the rack, we want him to be shooting at all costs. Let's take a quick look at some of the shooting stats and why we decided to go this way. So here's Kevin Porter Jr. You'll notice that 48% of his total shots come from 3-point land, and he's hitting 33%, which isn't too bad, but I'd much rather him getting towards the paint. So I'm willing to sacrifice a little bit of 3-point attempts to get more efficient shots. Although it looks like it might be more beneficial for us to take away from pull-up jumpers, because these mid-range game leave a little bit to be desired. So actually, let's go back and change that if we can. One month. Drive and shoot more. Yeah, so I done messed that up. Well, he's going to work on that for a month, and then we'll look to take away some of that pull-up jump shot. But back to the shooting stats to show you what Obi has been doing. So while he is injured, he's out for 3 days. Nearly 49% of his shots are coming from 3. He's shooting a scintillating 41.5% from 3. That's phenomenal. By far the best shooter on our team right now. Sure, small sample size, but the more he shoots from 3, the better we're going to be. So let's let him shoot from deep as much as possible. Now, he is injured, so we're going to have to make some adjustments. I'll store this lineup, and we'll move Christian Wood to power forward. Let's get Kelly Olynyk in here. Wood playing all power forward minutes. Olenek will play some center, which will definitely be very underwhelming, but is what it is. And Obi's playing some power forward here. So you know what? Let's get Taco a few more minutes. Give Olenek some power forward minutes to play next to Taco. Alright, well, let's see how we do. And this is only for 3 days with Obi out, so hopefully we can stay afloat. So let's just sim those 3 days. .10 loss to the Magic. We have an invalid roster. Go figure. Olenek out. Perfect. Alright, Taco Man. Let's see what you got. We're just going to let him go the full 48 here. We're going to need Christian Wood to pick up some minutes here. Really extending our guys. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Alright, let's give that a go. So let's see. KO is out 4 days. Obi another 2. Can we get through 2 days without another injury? Ooh. 3-point win over the lowly Pistons. That's probably a game we could have lost and been better off for. Take a look. Christian Wood, massive, 42 and 13. Nobody else really standing out. Jeremy Grant, 34 and 11 against us. So, hey, a win's a win. Not that we're really looking to rack them up, but against the Pistons, we got to take the ones that we can get. So let's get Obi back in here. Back into his usual power forward minutes. Let's restore this lineup. And yeah, it looks like we're good to go. Perfect. Not that I want Olenek playing anyways, so let's see if we can get to the end of December here. I'd like to see those red losses piling up for us. More ping pong balls, please. A close loss to the Clips. We seemingly have stopped. Oh, must email, of course. Trade rumors. Eric Gordon. Yep. We will admit you're on the trade block, sir. Would love for someone to take you off our hands, but we will not be that lucky. But if we're not going to get lucky on the trade block, I guess we'll save all that luck for the lotto. More emails. Obi has been a total stud recently. Of course we're thrilled. He's unfazed. What a stud. Not affected by anything. Wonder how that would have gone if he were still in New York. Alright, let's keep this train rolling. Ooh, another win. And before the stream today, I actually went on and played around with the D-League team a little bit. I have Kenyon Martin Jr. down in the D-League, and he wasn't really getting much run at all. So I made sure he was a starter, along with Daquan Jeffries, our 2 D-League players that we sent down. So I want to make sure they're getting some play. Would you say that Kelly has been bad lately? We're going to go with encourage. Keep that attitude up. DJ's been great. We'll offer him some praise. He's a veteran. Doesn't faze him either. Alright, well, Merry Christmas everybody, December 25th. Of course, the NBA is not going to showcase us on one of its biggest days, so let's just sim through, get to the new year, and see how we get on here. Another loss to Denver, that works out nicely for us. Mike James has suffered an injury. Now Mike James has been surprisingly good for us since we picked him up in free agency. But we also have Eric Gordon, probable, so can still play. I wonder why it cut out of the simulation. Because Mike James is not in the rotation. They should be able to adjust for that. Let's see. Yep, plays right through it. Not that we had a game anyways. Ooh, stomped by the Sixers. Alright, New Year's Eve. No game. Alright, Rockets, go out and party. Enjoy your night, because this season has not been enjoyable for the most part. Let's see where we are at. Obi hurt in 2 days. We cannot afford to take you out of this lineup. Mike James still banged up. So now I'm wondering, are we at the point of the season where we're 12 and 23, 35 games in? Do I go to a strategy of just bringing Eric Gordon off the bench, maybe playing Jayshawn Tate a bunch? What are the standings telling us right now? Conference. Yeah, again, we're not catching these two, that's for sure. And look at the Nuggets picked up a lot of wins in that 1 month. So they are way above us now. Mavericks, a little separation. So we're at 12 and 23. And I guess I really should be recording the losses here. So we're at 23 losses. Charlotte, Cleveland, Detroit all below us. So maybe we start making a little bit of a youth movement here. So Jayshawn, 6'4", 230. How does it compare to RJ? 6'6", 202. I'd much rather have 6'6", 202 guarding on the wing at shooting guard than Jayshawn. So you know what? Let's make that move. Get the youngin some run. Still want Kevin Porter playing. I'm going to swap these. I'm going to have Jayshawn Tate playing the garbage minutes, but Kevin Porter playing overtime. I mean, we never make it to overtime, so not that that even matters. RJ. You know what? Daniel House sitting on our bench right now. Yeah, that's why. 33% from 3. You know what? Maybe we do give him some burn here. Over Avery Bradley. You know what? Let's go full youth here. I mean, what do we have to lose? We can have Eric Gordon and Avery Bradley just on the bench. Eric Gordon getting that cameo power forward minute there. So why don't we free up Christian Wood. That should do. You know what? Obi's still probably 38 minutes is a hell of a lot of time there. So why don't we try to get him a rest? I just don't know where. No, you know what? Let him play. Let the kids play. Mike James playing some point guard. Alright. Let's make it happen. Let's see how January goes. Probably have to stop. But if we can get through January, maybe we can focus the next stream on potentially looking for some trade partners out there. There's that win over the Thunder, naturally. We have another win over the Timberwolves. There's your two lowly Western Conference teams. Let's check the inbox. A lot of emails flying in here. Scouting and scouting. We haven't taken a look much at the draft, but once the season ends, we definitely will be. Sterling Brown, trade block. You know it. Daniel House, trade block. You know it. Everyone play hard. Show out. Get yourself traded. Let's see what we can get through. Lost to the Grizz. Wow. Big win over Portland. DJ Augustine has been playing really well for us too. If there's a veteran on our team that probably could be moved, wow, a win over the Lakers, we might have to go back and look at that. But if there's a veteran on our team that would be worth something on the trade market to a contender, I would imagine DJ Augustine could be that guy. So we may have to focus on finding him a new home. We have an invalid roster. Who's banged up now? Spoke that into existence, didn't I? 4 days. Alright, well, I do want to store this. Mike James, how is your conditioning, sir? Let's find out. So again, 4 days. See how far we can get without another injury. 15-point loss to the T-Wolves. That's okay. And there are those Nuggets streaking. So we had 3 games in those 4 days. So clearly DJ Augustine is very important to us. Let's restore. Swap those guys. And let's see if we can get through the month. Where are we at? January 23rd. So we got a week or so left. Jayshawn Tate injured. Man, back spasms. No good. Eric Gordon probable. Well, if you're probable, that means you're probably playing for me. Give you Jayshawn's minutes. Let's get through this month, and then we'll do a quick recap as to see where we now are in the standings. Here we go. Wow. Mavericks must be really struggling to be losing to us like that. Couple emails. Lights out. Featured column. Yeah, like what we see. Effort decreases, attitude increases. Well, at least he's going to enjoy playing here. He's been on a tear lately. Mike James. Well, let's take a look. I haven't seen his game logs. 39 minutes. 7 and 12 at 9 boards. Good lord. 0 of 7 from 3. 0 of 4 from 3. 0 of 3 from 3. Maybe we need to focus some of his instructions, because he seems to be a quality player besides the shooting. Oh yeah, good lord. 41% of his shots are from 3, and he's shooting 16%. Not going to get it done, my friend. Drive and pass, yes. Drive and shoot, yes. Catch and shoot, no. Pull-up jumper, maybe. Pull-up jumper, no. So we gotta get that out of him. Well, he's not exactly here to score, so let's take a month. Let's drive and pass more. And I know I want him to catch and shoot less, but he is doing a lot of shooting off the dribble, and that's not what we want. So let's roll with that. Can we get through the month without any more stoppage? And we do it. And we win on top of it. So let's see what our depth chart looks like. Okay, everybody is good except for Jay Sean Tate, which is fine. We can take care of that next. Take a look at the standings before we end this episode. So, wow, the Spurs knotted up with us now. More competition for the ping pong balls down below. Again, the Wolves and Thunder cannot be caught at this point. And 32 losses for the Rockets, 32 for the Spurs. The Knicks are joining the misery down below in the standings, with the Cavs and the Hornets still there. Oh, and don't you forget those Pistons. Good lord. 6 at 46. Wow, we got a lot of work to do. At the top of the standings, which has no concern to us, but we will take a look. The Lakers at 42 and 8 look to have the best record in the league. But not far behind are the Red Hot Hawks, 42 and 9, with the Bucks just a half game back of them. So there is some great basketball being played. It's just not happening in Houston at this point, but that's why they hired me. I have to do some serious work and rebuild this roster. Thank you for tuning in, and hopefully we get another episode in soon.